welcome to Game Pass News, recorded September 2nd, 2021. Sean's back. Screw the rest of this. Sean's back, and that's all that matters. And my face is half the size it was before, and that makes me happy. So thanks for listening. We really appreciate you being here. My name's Nick, and as I've already stated, this is Sean Abbott, my co-host. How was your Scotland vacation, man?
We looked. What haggis did? Yeah, it was good.
Sorry,
the area. No worries.
can
I
hear
like
you
talking
now.
for nothing. Whee! This is what happens when one of us takes a break. We have
That's
so many
right.
technical issues. When we come back, it's
I'll
unreal.
mute you, damn it, if you leave. That's how it works.
Yeah. No, Scotland was great. With plenty of walking, visited some very old castles. Tried to entertain 4 children because our eldest took a friend. So it was 2 teenagers that we tried to try and entertain, as well as entertaining a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old. So trying to do stuff that entertained them all was difficult. The thing that worked the most was a farm park, because the eldest 2 could go and just touch animals, while the youngest 2 could run around and kind of play on all the furniture that was there.
Sure.
So,
So,
and into answering Ebisol's question is, I ate quite a lot of haggis. I had a haggis pizza. I had haggis meatballs.
the hell is haggis? All right, I'm in. I'm a stupid American. I don't know anything about culture.
So traditionally, haggis is like basically sheep and all its offals ground up. So you take a sheep, remove its stomach, grind the sheep up, put it back in the stomach with Bailey and like spices, then boil it in its stomach, and then eat it.
How the hell did we come up with this stuff? Like, are you serious? Like, who was like, you know what we need to do? You know, I mean, who came up with it? They're like, you know what would be really good is if we took everything out of the sheep, ground it up, boiled it in its own stomach, and then ate it. What do you say? I mean, somebody had to be close to death because they had nothing left to eat. And so they were like, there you go. So what you're telling me, really, this is like a hot dog. I mean, that's what, that's what Episode just says. Yeah, it's pretty much a hot dog.
So, but no, it was great. It was good. We've come back and like I'm trying to catch up because I booked enough time off work because of the shifts to have 3 weeks off back to back. The first week was meant to like kind of do all the stuff around the house that I've been kind of putting off because we've been busy and like running kids backwards and forwards to school, trying to make content for here, just loads of stuff. And that obviously ended up balls that because we were taking care of Lindsay's granddad because he wasn't very well. So like my first week off was spent doing all that. Second week off we were on holiday. And this week was supposed to be like a nice chilled kind of relaxed, like stripped back week, so I could spend some time with the kids. You know, plenty of taking them to the park, doing this, that, and the other. So like before I go back to work, because Lindsay's now back at work. So, but it hasn't. It's turned into doing everything I was supposed to do 2 weeks ago and spend time with the kids, keep them alive while Lindsay's at work, and yeah.
By the way, Chris wants to know, how are your hairy knuckles?
I didn't use any of the Manscaped stuff because it was still too expensive, even with the Nintendo Dad's discount. But
so
they are not
still
hairy.
Yeah, so I don't know if you listen to my mono podcast. Not a podcast where I had mono, so that probably wasn't the best way to say that. But anyways, but I conjectured that you were just gallivanting. Did you wear a kilt at all? I conjectured that you were just gallivanting around Scotland in a kilt. So
no, I didn't wear a kilt.
Oh.
Did spend a lot of time sat in the hot tub on an evening because our lodge had like a hot tub sunk into the decking, so that's about as close as bare to the elements that got anyway.
There you go. All right. Well, all right. Never mind. Guess I was off a little bit. What's up? I am Bone John. Hey, no disrespect to anybody who gets mono. I get it. it's the kissing disease. I don't even know what that means really. That's just what I've always been told. So, um, anyways, yeah, it's been a week for me, man. We had a funeral to go to and kids and I don't know. Just hasn't been that's so it has been a little rough. But the bright side is kids going back to school this coming week. I'm very excited for that. I've been with the kiddos all week long or all month long in August because my wife goes back to school early. She's a school counselor, and so I've had them. I've had them in the office. I've been yelling at them to stop running so that they don't make so much noise, and I'm in Zoom meetings downstairs. So I'm excited that they get back to school and I don't have to worry about that anymore. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much my life so far.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm excited for mine going back next week as well because it means I can actually start streaming me playing games again because
yes,
there'll be nobody else in the house.
that will be great. I can't wait to have you back, Sean Abbott. That's what
Yeah.
I want. Sean Abbott streams. I miss him. Um, so but speaking of children, my son, I don't even know. I think there's a couple of kids that he hangs out with that are Minecraft like fanatics. I don't know if that's the right word. But they just like Minecraft. And so he wants to like get into the whole thing and I was like, and I mean I feel kind of bad cuz like he could ask to get into a lot of stuff worse than that or like that's more annoying than that. And so I was like, all right. So
Pika
I
Pika.
yeah, yeah. And well, he already went through that stage. um, and so I was like, all right, fine. Let you know if you let me post on this dad's Discord and see where to start, where to best go for this. And he'll just FYI. I mean, obviously it's owned by Xbox. It's obviously on Xbox, but he'll be probably playing on the Switch. By probably playing on the Switch, I mean he'll be playing on the Switch. Um, so I was like, hey, where do I start? What should I do? Blah 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 blah. And you were like, listen, I know all about this. I'll give you the lowdown. So give me the lowdown, man.
So, it, what has he kind of hinted what he would like to do with Minecraft? Because that's the yeah, that's that like Hambo and Johnny says there's in Minecraft there's two different sides to it. So you've got Minecraft Survival, which is like the actual game. You've got to you start with basically nothing and set off. And you've got to like you chop down wood to make a wooden axe. Then you've got to like and a wooden pickaxe and a wooden shovel, and you kind of go along. And you've got to do all that, and then you mine for stone. Then you make a stone axe, stone pickaxe, and you kind of you get that along. You can make steel by um, smelting and stuff like that. So it's right up your street. They create the
Yeah.
survival side would be absolutely perfect for you, but you do also then encounter monsters that will kill you. You lose all your stuff, a bit like Grounded, where you die, you lose all your stuff. You can get that back, but 9 times out of 10, when you've got somewhere and you've died, it can be quite difficult to get it back. But you literally you start with absolutely nothing. You're just a person in this big open world of blocks basically, and you've got to build a house to protect yourself. You can build beds. You can go like right into like everything, and the idea is to mine for certain stuff. Then you've got to create a portal to get to the Nether, and then from the Nether you've got to do something else to eventually end up fighting the Ender Dragon. Um, punch trees. I like it. Yeah, you basically do have to just stand there and punch trees to start. Um,
Nice.
but then there's this complete opposite side of it, which is creative mode, which is what my eldest played, and what my youngest daughter is now like really into. And that's basically just sandbox. It's everything you can get in the game, or everything that is in the game, is available to you. It's there. Boom. You just open your inventory, and you've kind of got this big, huge list of Like you can place these different color blocks, you can place these different type of blocks, you can have this tool, give yourself this tool, you can spawn this animal, you can basically it's all just there for you. You can't die. And you kind of like it's basically you've got God mode. You can even like if you double jump, you can make yourself fly as high as you want,
Hmm.
stuff like that. So you can kind of just go. That's the mode that I reckon Noah would probably be best in first to get to
Sure.
grips with the game and what he can like, and just because he'll just want to build. That's all Emily does. She just builds really elaborate, weird houses with secret doors and passages and kind of like she's currently got this house where yeah, redstone hidden doors. That's it. That's the one that she likes at the moment. So she kind of you walk through this painting that she's put up, and it's like a hidden passageway. And when you walk through the painting, it opens up another door, and you get into this whole different area. And like
Huh.
she's constantly like coming up to running up to me with a switch and go, look at this. This is really cool. And I'm like, yep. Yep, I don't know how you've got all the time to do that.
Like, oh, to
I'm
be a
so jealous.
child with all the time. Um, yeah,
So,
that's cool.
and because then obviously there's the aspect of the online issue, but it, that bit I'm not entirely sure about. That's the one where you'd maybe have to like trial it yourself
Mm-hmm.
on. Um, I'm just reading the.
Enderman party at your house. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they're like one of the monsters in the game that can like they are the worst. They kind of just disappear and reappear all over the place and make this really creepy noise.
Huh.
Um, but yeah, it's the online aspect of it is that it opens up that anybody you kind of each time you create a world, you create a server. So if you
Okay.
allow like public play, anybody could end up
Hanging out
joining this.
in your
Yeah, joining
world
this.
at your server, basically.
Yeah, and anybody can end up destroying it. Now you can
Oh.
kind of lock it so it's like invite only and stuff like that. So there's different ways of doing it, but I haven't played it in that long. I can't remember entirely how to figure that one out.
So, anybody who knows me, knows my play style, what I like to play, probably is surprised that I have not played Minecraft. And it's really because I didn't want to get sucked into that like never ending gameplay loop, which doesn't make any sense because I sink a lot of time into these kind of games. But I don't know why. For some reason, I was just like, oh man, it just seems like it would never end for me. So I never really got involved. I am sure I could get sucked in. I know I could get sucked in because what you've really described is pretty much Dragon Quest Builders, and I got sucked into Dragon Quest Builders pretty hard. I mean, I put over I put about 150 hours into Dragon Quest Builders 1, which I'm sure is nothing for a Minecraft fan. Um but then I put almost the same amount of time into Dragon Quest Builders 2 and I never even actually beat the dang game. I never finished the last world. So yeah, I'm sure I can get sucked into Minecraft and if Noah's into it, it's gonna only make it more likely that I do. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
But
I'd
currently,
say
go
I'd
ahead.
say give it a go on your Xbox because what you can
That's a
do on the
good
Xbox
idea.
you could do in the game. You get to grips with it, and then because I think was it the deal you've got with Noah is that if he wants it for the Switch, it's currently like $30.
Yeah,
You've subbed him 10. He's got to kind of earn the 20 or appear. Yeah. So,
yeah.
but as
Noah's
Eddie's saying,
lucky. No,
it could be family time on Minecraft. This is where I'm thinking you've got it for free on Game Pass. If you kind of like bring him down and be like, "Hey, look, you can we'll
yeah,
play Minecraft together," and so it'd save you some money.
yeah. It's true. Um, yeah. So Noah's lucky, as is a lot of our kids. We're nerds, and so we love these games, and so we buy them. And Noah gets to reap the benefits of that just cause. And so I really was like, he wanted it, and I was like, it's $30, and it's a good educational thing for him, I know. And so I was like, sure, I'll buy it. And then I was like, well, no, wait, I can't just go and I can't be buying him every game he wants. So So I told him, listen, I'll put $10 towards it, but he has to earn the other 20 by doing jobs around the house or whatever. Basically using his cash that he gets. So
Yeah. I mean,
he's working on
if you
that.
want to go down the educational route, even down to like the redstone, which is like a way of making a circuit basically. So you have a lever and then you can use this redstone block and kind of like basically it's like an electric cable to a trapdoor and you can
Gotcha.
pull this and it goes to that. But it then goes deeper into that you can make AND gates. So like you need to operate this switch and this switch to make this happen. So like you can get there is a real logic like gate process behind it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a lot of learning and
Yeah, and I think that stuff's great. I mean, I have no problem with that. I think it's awesome. I'd love for him to get into all of that. Um, I mean, I to be honest, right now he sinks pretty much all of his switch time into Knockout City. Not that there's an issue with that. But yeah, I mean, if he's sinking it into Minecraft, that's probably a better place to sink. More creative.
and like yeah, and Ebiosel saying if you want to play this on the PC, you don't need a high end PC to play it. It helps because you can things load quicker. But I used to have it on our Mac, on the MacBook that we use for casting, which isn't high end by all accounts. It's currently I think as low end as it gets now because there's that many new ones out.
Yeah.
But the Windows 10's version, I think you can still mod it. There is, because when you load it up, it gives you loads of things. Do you want to add this? Do you want to add that? You can change like you can like change the details. So like I think even on the Xbox version, you can have like that everything looks like candy, or it can be ultra realistic looking. So like it gives you like little strands of grass and stuff and things like that. So
Hmm. Awesome. Well, yeah. So I will let you know where that goes when we end up getting it and what he ends up loving and doesn't love, and we'll see where we'll see where it all goes. I would like to say before we get too far out, just we've kind of shouted out Ebisal. He's been chatting with us a ton. Thank you so much, man. Hambone Johnny, Chris HL94. Thank you so much for joining the chat. We really appreciate it. Means the world to us. Love to have you guys along for our crazy podcast journeys, rides, whatever you want to call them. So moving on from our Minecraft kid chat. Xbox obviously owns Bethesda. Bethesda announces this week, to the chagrin of many PlayStation owners, that Elder Scrolls 6 is planned to be Xbox exclusive. You think everything from
yeah,
now on, and we know that Starfield is also Xbox exclusive. When Xbox bought Bethesda, took them over, Xbox said that they wanted everything. They wanted things to either be first. What do they say? Exclusive, first, or best on Xbox when it comes to Bethesda
yeah.
titles. Um, do you think everything's basically just going to be exclusive? How do you think? Or is there anything that's going to
Um,
be open to the world?
Uh, big stuff. See, this is kind of like a big thing because there is a big following for Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
So this kind of corners it. Um, yeah, and I was just going to say, you'll never see another game off the Xbox unless lots of money, as Ebisil said. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, you aren't going to see big games like Elder Scrolls off. I'd say if they brought another Doom out, you wouldn't see that on another console without it costing that developer a lot of, well, the console creator a lot of money. So
Yeah, and you're probably right. I mean, we chatted about this in the last time we were both together 2 casts ago about the conversation that I can't think of his name. The Xbox guy. Peter anyways, he said he said, "Listen, there's a lot of people that want me to bring over this game or that game to your platform, but we want people on different platforms to have the whole experience." And I think they're going to use Bethesda's big games like Elder Scrolls as their way of saying, "Listen, you want Elder Scrolls? We're happy to give you Elder Scrolls and every other game that's in Game Pass." Like,
Yep.
and that's gonna be what they tell that when somebody says, "Well, why won't you bring Elder Scrolls over to PlayStation?" They'll say, "We're happy to bring Elder Scrolls over to PlayStation. We've offered them our entire platform of Game Pass, but they chose not to take it." So
Yeah.
that's
So
gonna be how they play it. I guarantee you.
definitely. And it makes sense to do that. You hold the market on that. So
Yeah. Yeah, and that's going to be how I think they try real hard to push themselves into what he called the closed platforms, meaning basically PlayStation and Nintendo. And that's going to
yeah,
be their way, Xbox's way of saying of trying to push their way into that market. But we'll see if it works. Um I don't I don't think either one of those companies at the moment needs to capitulate to Xbox for Game Pass. I mean, they have awesome games in their own right. Um not probably. I would say definitely more games with legacy than Xbox has, even with all of their studios. And so it'll be interesting to see. It's always an interesting time in the video game market, but I think this one is especially just a
yeah.
different form, and it'll be fun to see where it goes.
And then going on the fact that it's an Elder Scrolls game, I I don't want them to have fucked this one up like they did with the last one. The Elder
Skyrim?
Scrolls
Are you?
Online. No, Skyrim was amazing.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Okay.
Elder Scrolls Online was
Oh,
a
okay, okay, yeah,
bag of hot shit.
yeah,
So, and I'll take any heat for anybody that wants to fight me for that. So, if you can come at me and give me like a reason why it wasn't a flaming hot mess, then I live in England.
yeah. A dumpster fire, as Marty calls it over
Yeah,
here. um,
but yeah, that was awful. So if they kind of make this one better, I'll play because I spent a lot of time in Skyrim, and I
hmm
mean like a lot of time. I've done everything apart from that one quest I couldn't do because I picked up the first item far too early in the game. But like I had all the dragon armor, I'd like almost I'd spent ages ranking up every aspect of my characters, or like sneaking around for absolutely like spent hours just crouched walking around. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I I'm not gonna lie, this one did catch me as a little surprised. I really thought that they would be a little bit more open with Bethesda's properties. And allow make some money off of them by putting them on PlayStation and stuff like that. I think it does bite into their like, hey, everything should be everywhere. We're the inclusive platform. We love all gamers are great. That's their social media pitch. Um, and I think that
yeah,
does
but
kind of
you
bite
can't
into
have
it.
this. Yeah, we should be everything should be able, but you're not allowed to play it.
Yeah, yeah,
This is ours.
it doesn't play well. But like I said, their pushback to that's going to be like, hey, we'll give it to them
Yeah,
on
it's
Game
there
Pass.
available if you want it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
give us the money and we'll give you the access.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, we're happy to put our service on any platform. That's going to be their pushback to that. So yeah, that's interesting. Works well for them. It's a good soundbite, and so we'll see. And that's really our top stories, guys. I mean, there hasn't been a ton of news, but there has been some games that have dropped in the last week, last couple of weeks for sure. So, Sean, what have you been playing in the Xbox Spotlight?
So in the Xbox Spotlight, I've actually been playing something on the Xbox, which might surprise everybody for the last few casts. Yes, I got to the final battle in Zelda, realized that I've got a lot of work to do, put that game down, and thought I'll do for now. So,
Do you got
so
what?
yeah,
I mean, it's Zelda. What do you got to grind to get some hearts, or what? I mean,
yeah. I think I need to go and get the unbreakable shield. I need to
oh,
kind of
okay.
figure out how to get that. So, but that takes time.
Who
So,
wants to do that?
um, yeah. So I have revisited an old game that I absolutely loved back from the original 360 days, and that's Skate. I've forgotten how good that first game is. The Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of that. That's going to be the first thing I stream. I've kind of got the because it starts off it's really slow. Like all the tutorials are really slow. So I've kind of played it to a point where there's plenty of stuff for me to do. So if I do when I do a stream of it, I can kind of like do a couple of different objectives and stuff like that. So that'll be the first thing that I stream next week. Um, I've also been touched on a little bit of Art of Rally after the podcast with the Nintendo Dads. I kind of thought, right, I need to give this a go and see how difficult it is. As Tim and Marty were like, this game is really difficult to drift on. So I gave it a go. Yes, it is difficult, but if you balance the handbrake and the normal brake and keep plenty of throttle on, you can extend those drifts. It is difficult to control it when you start extending those drifts because it is your car sideways. So I'll give him that. But
You
the
need
fact that I
to you need to stream this game and title it "A Marty Tutorial in Art of Rally." That's
I think I might need to hone that in and get a little bit better then before I do that because there is still instances where I sideswipe a tree and stuff like that. So but that game is beautiful. It is very zen, as Marty said. It's very easy kind of just to switch off and play around in that. The art style is absolutely gorgeous. So the other game that I played, and literally we were both playing it before we started doing this podcast, is Surgeon Simulator. That's one of the games that's out this week. I'd avoid that game.
yeah,
That is all. It
yeah.
is.
I mean, how do you even describe? Is it floppy physics? I mean, is that what you call this? I don't know what this is.
Yeah. It.
Kind of.
You basically start and your left arm's out like this, and you walk around and you get the ability to rotate this arm, and that's all it tells you to do at first, and crouch and jump. It
Rotate the
doesn't tell.
hand is what it tells you to do. It shows you
Yeah,
how to
you can.
rotate the
So
hand.
you can do this.
Oh, let
For
me do.
people
Yeah,
who
yeah.
are
Let me get on
for
stream
people who
here.
are only listening, I'm currently trying to like contort my wrist to go full
Yeah,
360. So that's all it kind of tells you to do. It doesn't tell you how to extend your arm out to reach an object.
which is
So
very
like I spent
important, by the way.
yeah. So I'm stood there and she's like, "There's Bob. Bob needs his leg taken off because his leg's a bit bad." So I spent nearly 10 minutes of the voiceover lady just going, "Just rip the leg off. Just
Yes,
rip the right leg off. Just
yeah.
rip his right leg off." And I'm
And you're
like, "I
trying to
can't
do it like a
reach."
T Rex, basically. You got your arms. They're like
Rawr.
yeah. Like I can't get to his damn leg. I'd rip it off if I could.
Yeah.
And then
Like
finally,
I even stood on his open chest.
I did too.
Crouched down to try and grab this leg, and I was like, "It's just not working." So I think I got to the similar point to where you got to where you had to saw that guy's arm off, and that's when like you sent me the link ready for the podcast, and that's probably why we're a little bit later than scheduled, was because we were both just ripping this game and trying to.
Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
by the
So
way, we both realize that there is no there. If there is, I will say this: the instructions to the tutorial are posters on the walls. So possibly we both missed the same poster, but
yeah,
we learned that if you press the L button, and then use the left stick, you can extend his arm so that you're not a T-Rex and that your arm's actually extended.
as long as Mr. Tickle.
Yeah, yeah. And so I grabbed the saw and I went at that guy to get his arm off, and I got everything but his arm off. I mean, I would cut his head off once. I cut a leg off. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Maybe if you're with a group of guys and you're drinking, maybe this is funny. Like I could see how maybe this is funny, but like, I don't know. If you're just gonna sit down and play a game by yourself, this doesn't seem fun at all. Like not even a little.
If they kind of left it so you were just over the open body, and you kind of had your left stick controlled your left arm, and your right stick controlled your right arm, and left trigger did your left hand, and right trigger did your right hand, and you kind of had to do that and articulate your thumbs and that kind of like extend your arms basically through the controller left and right. That might have been a better way to do it, but the way they did it was just
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to saw, and you had the, and I just thought that maybe I just realized that at some point you put the saw and it turns green, and I wonder if I never did this. I kept trying to like walk back and forth. I bet if I would
yeah.
have just hit
I
the
had to
L,
extend. Yeah,
yeah,
so that's what I did. I managed to line the saw up well, and while we were talking and started cutting, but then I was like, this is going to take forever. And so like I could just chuck the saw on the floor, grabbed his arm and ripped it off. And he died because he bled out really quickly.
yeah, and that's what they say. If you rip your arm, if you rip his arm off, he bleeds out much quicker. Yeah, at one point I had sawed off the wrong arm and sawed off the right arm. And I was trying to put the but he bled out before because I was like, I wonder if I just now that he has no arms, I wonder if I put the one right arm on him if they're like, good job, you replaced his
Yeah.
right arm.
So, I
So
mean,
it's not what I thought it would be at all. This game, just to
no,
be honest.
I thought it was going to be a lot more easy to play and more fun than that. So, but
Yeah.
that's kind of it. Got installed at 4 o'clock this morning, and it got deleted by like 5 o'clock this morning. So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can expect some footage. I'll probably do a little voiceover, maybe. I did not stream this game, but I did capture the footage that I played this evening, and so I'll probably throw that up on YouTube at some point this week if anybody's interested in taking a look at that. So.
Yeah. And then the last game that's on my list, and I've saved this to last because I'm assuming that we'll probably end up talking about it quite a lot, is 12 minutes. So because when we last sat with each other, you were like, I don't understand everybody's excitement for this game.
True.
You came off air and you went and played it, and then 3 hours later we were then on air with Nintendo Dads, and you were like, oh my god, and I understand why you all and everybody was the same. Tim was the same. Tim was like, yeah, I've spent nearly 4 hours playing this game. So yeah, I have never played a game so infuriatingly addictive in my life.
So, how far did you end up getting? Because last I talked to you about this, you were like, "I'm done." You're like, "I'm not playing this game anymore."
It's there. It's currently like the dash. My Xbox is on and the TV, so like it's there. It's currently on. Come with me. It's currently there on the dashboard, sat waiting for me to play it again. I haven't yet played it. Mainly because I haven't had time to
Sure.
sit, because it is one of those where you kind of need the 12 minutes takes 12 minutes. So, but yeah, I haven't. Can we do this without spoiling it too much?
No.
Rather than going to thing.
There's only you got two options. We can just say, and so to be fair, I was on the Dad's Betwixt. I don't know if you were aware of that, but I was on the Dad's Betwixt show and did a spoiler cast with them all about this game. And so if you really want like the full spoiler, I'd go there. I wouldn't get spoilery with it. It's still too early. Some people might want it, and I don't know how far we'll talk about it.
So without going too much into it, I still haven't got out of the loop.
Oh yeah. Well, you're not going to do that until the very end.
Yeah.
So you're going to loop. Yeah.
So I can, because it doesn't last longer than 12 minutes. So even if you do all the things you can possibly try and do to extend that amount of time to get to the point where you might be able to get some form of help, it then just won't happen because time's out.
Yeah. So the best way that I can describe this game, and it's only the best way to describe this game if you've watched Groundhog's Day, is to say this game is exactly like Groundhog's Day, where that's the movie with Bill Murray where he's on it's Groundhog's Day, he's the meteorologist, and he He wakes up. Um, every time he goes to sleep, he wakes up and Groundhog's Day has started again. And he remembers everything that's happened in the previous loops of him on that day, but nobody else does. And he basically does some crazy shit to try to figure out how to get out of it. And to be fair, you can do some crazy shit to figure out how to try to get out of this. I mean, I did some crazy stuff.
Yeah. I even
Um,
tried to stab the wife.
Yep,
That doesn't work.
that's one of them. The whole idea is you walk into this apartment and the wife's there, and she's like, "Oh, hey, honey, how are you? You know, it's great to see you." And so you kind of just walk through this whole deal. Some guy walks in and says he's a cop, and then the
and then
whole
and then shit goes sideways.
yeah, exactly. And then unless you can figure out what you need to do, which you cannot do in one loop, by the way. I mean, this is cannot be like a 12-minute game. There's no way for you to do that. You have to go through multiple loops to get it done. Um, then the loop will start
I
all
got to a
over
point.
again.
I started taking notes.
Yeah.
So that's it made me actually write something down. This game made me write something down, which I haven't done for a while. So
Yeah, Essay said he was kind of pumped for this, but it seems like people became less enthused about it after a while.
I don't think it's because people are less infused. I think it's because people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to spoil it for anybody else. Like usually, like we will talk in, especially a game like this, that we would talk like to no end about every like possible way that we've tried stuff. But I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to ruin it for me, and you don't want to talk about it because you don't want to ruin it for me or
mm,
for anybody else who might be listening. So they've done a really good job of making a game that everybody wants to talk about, but nobody wants to spoil, which you
yeah.
don't get often.
The
So,
only
and the
thing
fact
I
that you've got,
will like my critique of this game, which I can say without any spoiler, is that it does feel after a while it gets a little grindy. Like you end up and you think you should be somewhere you're not, and all of a sudden it's like the loop starts over, and you're like, "F me, man!" Like I'm just like, I've gone through this loop so many times, and it becomes a little less fun. I'll admit, like
I, I, I think that's how you're supposed to feel with the game,
yeah,
because
no, it
that's
is
because that's how the character starts to feel. Because like
right.
he gets really like funny with his wife after a few loops, and he's like, whatever. Yeah, you can get quite snappy. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you're supposed to feel with it, because that's what it made me. I literally wanted to bang my head against the wall. I was like, but I think that's how you're supposed to feel with the game. I think you're supposed to go through that feeling alongside the character going through it. So
Yeah, I would. I mean, I agree with you. It's just at some point, if you want to finish the game, it's like, hey, there's some good walkthroughs out there. So if you're sick and tired of going through the game, you've gone through a decent bit yourself, and you're just like, I don't, you're weary of the loops. I would say don't be afraid to look at a couple of walkthroughs and catch up with where you're at, and let them help you through just
yeah,
to
and kudos to the developers for getting the voices that they've got. William Defoe
yeah, yeah.
and James McAvoy to voice some of the characters. Good job.
Yeah, Daisy Ridley.
So,
So yeah, yeah, good stuff. Um, so yeah, it's a really cool game. Probably one of the, for me, not for a lot of people, but for me, it was a sleeper that dropped. I definitely was not interested in it. Thought it was weird that everybody was, and hey, I'm happy to be wrong. So, anything else for you, man?
no, no, that's it. I've got some
No,
other stuff downloaded and ready to go, but we'll talk about that in a while.
nice. So yeah, we talked about Surgeon Sim. That's the one I just played in the new drop of games. Not great. Not at least to me. And Sean, obviously. I also tried Craftopia. It's very important for me to point out that this is a game preview, which I think is something. It's like a demo, but it's like a beta demo, I guess is how maybe you would describe a game preview. Um, but this unlike Grounded, and to be fair, Grounded has been out for almost a year now, or actually a little bit over, a couple months over a year. Unlike Grounded, this feels very much like a game preview. It is fairly empty. I mean, I was not impressed at all. You don't they call it a survival crafting world building game, and I mean, if there's survival, I don't know where it is. I was wandering around my world pretty unhurt or not worried or not in peril. There's a lot you can craft. Like it says, that it doesn't feel like the game has much of a soul. Like it starts you out, you hit a button. I actually didn't even realize it was the beginning of the game. All there is this red button, and I just sat there and looked at it for a while. And finally, I hit the A button, and this hand comes down and slams the button, and you watch Earth blow up. And then you end up in some heavenly realm with this deer angel. Literally, it's like an angel with deer antlers. And she's like, "Hey, you probably don't remember this, but you blew up your world. Here's another one." And then you kind of just walk through this door and end up in this new world. I don't know. It felt like it was trying to do something that it didn't do. Like it was trying to make you feel a connection to this thing that just wasn't there. And I didn't feel that, like, it didn't feel like it started you out very well. I wasn't intrigued by this world in any way like I was with Grounded, and and a lot of those survival games where it's like, "Oh, what is this?" The graphics are not, I mean, they're nothing to write home about. Even the animations are a little, I don't want to say choppy, but they're just rough. Like they're not smooth. When you're attacking, it's kind of, you can attack these animals and some enemies, and it's really hard to tell where you're gonna swing. I was not I was not a fan.
I'm just watching the gameplay trailer now. That's on the Game Pass thing, and it's like they have stolen several different games and stuck them together.
Yeah,
Like an art style of Breath of the Wild meets like just yeah.
not near as pretty as Breath of the Wild though.
No.
At least not in the game preview. And so this is a game preview, so I want to like keep pointing that out because I feel, I don't want to crap on a game for no reason, but yeah, it's just not ready yet, and maybe that's the point, and they're trying to get your feedback, and so, but I mean, man, there's a lot left to do before I would consider this game as one that you should sit down and spend Game Pass time on. That's my 2 cents on Craftopedia. Still playing Psychonauts 2. I have put about 8 hours into it now. That game is a gem. I mean, that game is spectacular. I don't think there's anybody who's saying anything less than that. I don't think I'm saying anything different than anybody else. But man, I mean, if you have Game Pass and you're a Nintendo fan, like, I don't know, that game just feels Nintendo to me. Like it's just fun, and it's
It
just,
may possibly end up there.
yeah, maybe. It's just great. I can't recommend it enough. Um, I'm still playing Grounded, although I think my time with Grounded is coming to an end. At least until they give an update or something. Sean, I need you to get the anti-poison status. Just get bit by a lot of spiders. That's all I need you to do. And then you and me can go and fight the Broodmother. I need somebody to fight the Broodmother with me. Did you play the first one? Would you recommend playing it before 2? Oh, Psychonauts. No. Yeah, that's a great question, Essay. I thought you were... Sorry. No,
Yeah,
you
he's
do
not
not
talking
need
about
to.
Grounded.
So yeah. One, I've played about 5 hours of the first one in a couple streams that I did for Game Pass News. I mean, the game was a gem for its time, but obviously it's 15 years old, and it shows all of those years. Um, and I cannot give praise enough to Psychonauts 2 for the, like, you get in, it gives you the logos, and immediately it throws you into this like hyper fast, but still you can keep up with it. It's not crazy. Like 5-minute trailer of Psychonauts, and it's like, and this is what he's doing, and this is what he did, and this is what happened, and all this stuff, and then here you are, and all of a sudden, and it's like I was done, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I know everything that happened in Psychonauts, and Psychonauts 2 literally starts off right where Psychonauts ended, and it's like you're in, and you feel like you know everything you need to know, and you're ready to go. And I could not I could not praise them enough for how they did that. In fact, I after I did that, I is speaking of with Neoprime, hi Neoprime, how you doing, man? Tim,
Him the Band-Aid.
I immediately went to Metroid and said Nintendo needs to do something similar to this for Metroid, like for Dread, because I mean, I'm not a Metroid like I'm a Metroid fan in the sense that like I've played some but not all, and if I could just have a start where it's like this is and here you are with Dread, I'm not gonna go back and play all the 2D games. I don't got time, and quite frankly, I don't want to, just to be honest. But if I could be caught up in a second, I'd be in, man. I would really appreciate that on Nintendo's one. So no, that's a long-winded way of saying no. You do not need to play one. I would not even recommend it. Play 2, jump into some beautiful, beautiful graphics and some, spot-on current-gen gameplay and platforming. So yeah, sorry. So my grounded time, I think, is coming to an end. I've done all the raw science. I've built my castle. I got zip lines everywhere. I'm in. Well, not only did you end early, but we started late. It's on us, really. We were chatting about how horrible Surgeon Simulator is and how awesome Sean looks in a kilt. No, I'm just kidding. That last part we weren't talking about.
Also, how come you guys ended up ending so early when we're not on? We must have really kept you going for nearly a 3-hour podcast. So,
I know. 4 hours of dad content. That's what you get when Game Pass News is on there. Let me tell you. Sean's over here like the sun's come up and gone down and come up and gone down. He's like, son of a
that was a long that was a long day as well, because I think me and Lindsay went away that night as well. So I was, by the time I was absolutely shot.
I have a comment, but I'm not gonna go there. Anyways, so those are my that's what I have been playing. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I need to get you the status update, because the only thing I haven't done as grounded is fight the brood mother. And I need I need somebody. I can't do it alone. I fought her once. Well, I should say I haven't beat the brood mother. I fought her once and she kicked my ass. I need like one other person. But you really can't fight her unless you have the status update of anti-poison, because otherwise it's pretty much over. It's like a wolf spider, except probably 10 times as hard.
So what you're saying is I need to go and get killed lots. And then
just get bit by spiders. I feel like I got the anti-poison thing like right away, because I kept wandering around getting bit by spiders all the time. So yeah, I just need I need help on that last piece, and then I'll have it all. But other than that, I'm feeling done there, which is good, because I'm ready to move on to a lot of play in Psychonauts 2 to just finish that up. Stop feeling torn between the two. So that's me. That's what I do.
So the other, excuse me, Nick's yawning because it's late, and I'm yawning because it's early.
That's taking me back today. That's all right.
The dad crossing days. So so the other games that are out this week, we've hit on Surgeon Simulator and Craftopia. Final Fantasy VIII is on there now. Yeah, I'm gonna say. So Final Fantasy VIII is on there now, which I have no idea what that one's like. I think I only ever played 7. And Signs of Sojourner. I don't know.
Sojourner.
Sojourner. There we go.
I want to play this. I haven't played it yet, but it's on my list.
Yeah. So that looks. I've had a quick look now while you were talking through a few things, and that looks. It's a card-based game.
Yeah, it's a narrative-driven card-based game.
And then there's Fog, the game Fog, or Mist.
So,
which has got nothing to do with Fog. I just like to use that euphemism of like I tried to catch Fog, but I missed.
I like it. I've never actually heard that. That's good. Uh, I don't know why that
There's your
tickles
really
me so
bad
much,
dad
but
joke.
yeah, that's funny. Uh, um, uh, so Mist, I have a plan with our HDMI adapter for my iPhone. My mom and I played this game. Played all of them almost. I think almost all. I can't. Like there was Raven. I don't know. I think there was three, and we played all of them on the PC back in the day. And so I showed this to my mom, and she was like blown away. So I wanted to try to play it on XCloud at her house because she doesn't want to come over to my house and play in the basement with me. That's not really something she wants to do. But we do hang out every once in a while, like once a week or something. And so maybe I could. I'm hoping I can plug in. See how this works. Plug in my iPhone with an HDMI adapter to my TV, and then connect a controller to my iPhone, and maybe we can play Myst via XCloud on the TV. That's what I'm hoping we can do.
You'll have to let me know if that works because I've got one of those Apple HDMI things, and that's a very interesting way of doing it. If I could get my Series X controller to talk to my phone and do that, that means I could play. You could play it anywhere. Basically, becomes a dongle for Game Pass to play
Yeah,
anywhere, which is
yeah,
what we were talking about 2 weeks ago.
yep, it definitely does. So yeah, I'll let you know. It's something I want to try. And you definitely can get your controller to chat now. Um, with your iPhone. There was the new update, I don't know, a couple months ago. So that's definitely possible. It wasn't in the beginning, but it is now. So yeah, I'll let you know if it works. But that's something I really want to do because my mom loved Myst, and I loved playing Myst with her.
So yeah, that's it for breaking news. We've got we've I'm sorry, we're just looking at the chat with we've got Jesse from the Nintendo Dads telling Tim from the Nintendo Dads to wake up. So
Okay, so Jesse's saying, have you played Game Pass on your TV via your phone, Jesse? I'm trying to decipher this message. I'm having trouble.
yeah.
Anyways, while
So
yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
we've got
You shoot
we've
for it.
got some we've got so no, he hasn't tried it on his
Okay,
phone
not
yet.
yet.
So we have got some questions. Now we're in the party chat. We're kind of like So we've got
Gotcha.
some questions left over from the last time we were both together before I was away, plus some new ones. So I don't know what you want to hit first.
Oh, I thought you knew. Are we doing this
Uh,
live?
we are doing this live. We like to wing it. Why not? um, so we'll
you go.
because Tim
Just pick one, Sean. You do
because
it.
Tim's in the chat. We'll go with Tim's first. So one of the questions that he gave us, because he gave us a boatload last time.
Tim's
So
awesome,
these
by the
ones that we
way.
didn't, yeah. How do you choose which games to play on your multiple systems, especially if games are available on both or all of them? So that kind of hits for your wanting to play like Minecraft, like wanting Noah to play Minecraft. How do you kind of deal with that? So you can get it for free on your Xbox, but you don't kind of want to be playing the Xbox because of the other content that comes with
Yep.
being on an Xbox. So you're prepared to then spend spend some of your money and spend his money, which is basically your money because you give it to him. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's being a parent for you. So
Mhm.
like, yeah, how do you get around that? It's like because this is the same for me. Is like I can play Art of Rally on the Switch and probably spend more time playing it on the Switch, but I haven't because it's free on the Xbox. So how do you get past that? Because I can't. I'm Yorkshire and I'm short-handed. So I can't reach the money in the bottom of my pockets.
Well, for me, I mean, with Noah, it's easy. I just have made a decision that at the moment, there's too many games on Game Pass. There's too many shiny games on the Xbox that would draw Noah's attention that he just can't play. So it's just like, well, there's no reason for him to really be introduced to the Xbox at this point. When he gets a little bit older and more of those games come available to him, then that'll be a different story. So at this point, he should play in the Switch. I'm not going to give him the Xbox, especially because the Xbox at the moment's downstairs. I'm not going to be like, Noah, go downstairs and play Minecraft on the Xbox. That's never going to happen, or maybe not never, but not for a few years at least. Um, and so it only makes sense that we get Minecraft on the Switch for him. For me, if it's a game, and here's where it becomes much more difficult, and I start to say, well, if I can play it on Xbox, I'm gonna play it on Xbox, because for me, if I got the two options, especially with XCloud now, if the game's on XCloud and I can play it for free there, then I'm going to play it free there. I mean, I have my Backbone controller now. I don't have to worry. The Touch Me segment, I totally forgot to play game touch control because I don't play game touch control anymore. I mean, I strap my phone into the Backbone and I'm off, man. I mean, the Touch Me segment was fun when I didn't have the Backbone. Now it's like, I don't want to play this game with touch controls when I got this awesome controller sitting over there. So so I don't if it's on Game Pass, I play it on Game Pass. Otherwise I play it on Switch. And that's just kind of
yeah. See, for me, it's it's all what the game's like. So, because I know like Doom is available on the Switch, but it misses a lot of stuff. It's dumbed down a little bit for the Switch and its capabilities. So, if it's going to be a big graphical game and like boasts a lot, then yeah, I'm going to play on the Xbox because it can just manage it so much better. But if it's like a platformer that's going to be on both the consoles, I'd probably go to playing it on the Switch because where's my voice going? Wow.
Where's your sexy UK voice, Sean? What just happened?
It just went really deep and then broke. Sorry about that. So yeah, if it's going to be like a platformer that isn't massively graphical, then I'd probably get it on the Switch. And this is away from Game Pass. So if I had to spend money on a game, then I'd get it on the Switch because I can play it anywhere, and I don't have to worry about it ruining it graphically. But then if you want to go down the lines of, oh, there's this awesome game that's coming out for the Switch, and we've talked about this before, you can kind of look at it and go, I'll come to Game Pass soon. Then I won't buy it. Yeah, I won't buy it on the Switch. I'll be like, I'll just wait for it for free. I'm paying my monthly subscription to Microsoft for Game Pass, so I will wait until it becomes available with my subscription there, as soon as I'm already spending the money there. So that's the way around it is. So.
Yep. Tim adds in the chat, the harder thing to figure out is playing it on Game Pass Cloud versus Switch. Yeah, that's 100% true. Because they're both mobile, like Slay the Spire for me. Switch is much better at being portable, though. Yeah, it's true. If I'm playing,
you don't have to worry about spotty internet if you're playing it on the Switch because it's there in your hand. You can just.
Yeah, the thing I find though with my Switch is, I don't play my Switch in the car, even when like my wife is driving. Like we go to Illinois. I mean, my wife usually drives a couple hours. I find playing my Switch in the car unless it's nighttime. But I find playing my Switch in the car during the day, it's hard to see. I'm like trying to move it just right so I can get the best view, and it's like I don't know. It feels kind of washed out, and that's kind of the only reason. And we sat here like the OLED news broke while we were podcasting, and that was my thing that I said. Wow, I would be interested in the OLED if it's a brighter screen and it works better in the daylight. So for me, I don't play unless I'm in like my office where I have internet, or I'm at the house upstairs where I have the internet. So
yeah, you should get in the back. Like Tim says, you should sit in the back. It's always darker in the back.
I'm sure my wife would love that.
No, I can't see. I can't play anything. If I'm the passenger in a car, I can't be staring down at anything. From when I used to rally, I used to have to. I can't do the looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down, because like I used to have to read a map and navigate for rallying. So, but it was always dark then, so there wasn't the light aspect because otherwise I get really car sick. But I am a really bad passenger. Other than the one person I only ever trusted to be going fast when I was his co-driver, I am a really bad passenger. I'm constantly like checking mirrors. I'm checking like how far away from the car in front I am. Basically driving the car, and I have been known to sometimes like if Lindsay isn't indicating for whatever reason, I kind of like just flick the indicator. It really
Oh my
pisses
lord,
her.
Becca would punch me in the face if I did that. Like I'm
I
not
get,
even kidding
I get,
you.
I get a complete eye roll. So,
I
but
mean, I can't even imagine if I was like, she'd be like, like, I can't,
yeah.
man. I don't even want to know what she'd do if I did that. Wow.
Well, it's
Um,
my pet hate when driving. If somebody doesn't indicate, I'm like, does your car not come with indicators? Did you have to pay? I get really. That's the only time I get really like road rage is when somebody doesn't indicate properly. So, and she knows that because when I'm driving and like I'll be pissed off at some guy that's like kind of not indicated and just turned off. I was like, oh, thanks for letting me know about that. So yeah. But
Also,
anyway,
I wanted to say, Jesse said that Tim grabs the blanket and covers himself up in the back seat when
well,
he plays
well
Switch. Also,
I was going to
somebody,
say, I'm glad you said when he plays Switch, not when
yeah,
he's
yeah,
just
I realized
playing
I was like, oh,
playing with
I
himself
need
in the
to add that
back.
real quick. Otherwise, it's gonna get awkward. I think it still got awkward, but maybe less so. Somebody needs to tell Tim he can now take the worm light off of his Switch because it has a backlight. So he no longer needs the worm light. It's not like the Game Boy. He can take it off. It's good. So I just imagine Tim like under the blanket playing his Switch, and it still has like that Game Boy worm light on it, so he can see it better. So, but anyways,
Yeah. Um. So the other Tim question that we'll go to is: you've been quarantined for 2 weeks. As soon as you know how this feels, I thought this was quite good for you.
yeah.
Um. So you've been quarantined for 2 weeks again. What game or games do you want to play and or finish? This is assuming you cannot work and you feel good enough to play games. So
Yeah. Let's assume all happy and bright and shiny. So I would want to finish Psychonauts. I would want to finish Skyward Sword. By finish, I mean start and get farther than going into the bathroom, because
yeah,
that's as far as I've made it. Still,
you and
uh,
Frosticles are exactly the same. He's not played that yet.
yeah. Listen. I played it. I booted it up. There was some type of weird festival shit. I went into the bathroom. I sat on a toilet, and then I shut it off. Uh, I mean, I don't know. There's just something about that game that I just can't. I just need to get past that spot, and maybe it'll like click for me, and that's what I need to do. Um. Get out of here! No Final Fantasy VIII, Jesse. I'm not. We need to get Jesse on here to talk about all this Final Fantasy crap that keeps coming off and going off Game Pass news. I have new. Do you? I mean, he would be. I know nothing about all this stuff.
No.
So, so yeah, those would be my two games. Psychonauts 2 and Skyward Sword.
So let's see. For me, it'd either be in Rays of Light, so I can actually do the goddamn video for that. That'd be meaning
Yeah,
to do for so
so
long because
somebody
I
will stop
need.
bugging me. That would be
Yeah.
great.
If you give them a like, send them, give them my personal email, and I will talk to them about that because I need to help them out. Or I'd probably go for Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, that would be cool to do a deep dive into that.
Yeah. I'd try and find some people that played online during the day in the UK and be like, hey, let's like set sail and have some fun.
Hey, maybe I can join you in that now, because this is how I remember this happening. You said, Sea of Thieves, we should play that. And I said, yeah, that sounds great. Tonight I'm doing a grounded stream, and then we'll play Sea of Thieves. And then I played my grounded stream, and I was like, yeah, I'm not playing Sea of Thieves ever. I'm going to play grounded. Thanks. And I felt really bad about that, but that's how that went down.
Yeah, but you were. Yeah, you weren't. Well, nobody expected that you'd be into Grounded as much as that because nobody expected Grounded to be like it was. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So now that I'm come to the end of Grounded, maybe we could jump in the Sea of Thieves together.
get you ridiculously addicted to Sea of Thieves.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
So, right, I need to remember the names of these because somebody's asked other questions and I didn't write the names next to them because I'm that poly.
Oh, that also could be me. I just like copy and pasted. Gosh, I gotta write names too. You gotta keep me going here.
So Max Power dropped us a question in the Discord. If you could create a new game by blending two games together, what game would you make?
Hmm.
I mean, Craftopia have kind of tried to do that by blending Fortnite, like Stardew Valley, Breath of the Wild. They kind of just mixed them all together and thought, hey, there we go.
Yeah, it's tough, right? I mean, it's not easy to do that and still have a soul in the game. And that's what that game misses. I mean, it's just yeah, it just misses a soul of what it should be, and I feel bad saying that, but it's fairly true. Um Two games put together. You know, so I was gonna say, whatever. I'm just gonna lean. I'm gonna lean straight into Nick's video game library currently. I would love to see Grounded add some in-game social elements of Animal Crossing. So like if you could visit either people, or I don't know if you want to visit animals because it's got a really realistic feel to it. um like this science thing really happened, you got shrunk. So like maybe if somebody else gets shrunk, or like I could just see like there's like an old crotchety man that's been like that lives in the bird bath that's like, well, I've been shrunk for 20 years living up here, living off of blueberries the entire time. Like I could see them adding some people, that social element. I mean, Grounded is a 4-player online multiplayer game, but like the in-game social element, like NPC characters, that you could find and meet and somehow maybe do tasks for, relate to, other than just burgle the robot. So if I could merge Grounded and Animal Crossing, I think I'd have my perfect game.
Yep. See, I always go straight to if I could merge Grand Theft Auto, so like the realisticness of Grand Theft Auto and the physics of it, because they had a really good tumbling physics, and the fact you could drive with Skater XL or Skate. So let me get out of my car, ride my skateboard somewhere, get back off the skateboard, back into the car, and basically that kind of open wilderness to a skateboarding game.
That's
Because
a good idea.
Skater XL, you all get this nice open world thing, but you've got an open world that's really small, and you've got
Hmm.
to push your
Yeah.
skateboard around it all. You can on some skateboarding, on some games, you can get off and walk around. So like Skate 2 allowed you started to do that, and then they did a bit more of it with Skate 3. But to be able to like drive to different areas, so that would be my. I'd never play another game ever again if you could do that. That would probably draw me in forever.
Yeah.
So, and Tim's put Metroid plus Super Mario Brothers free, just because he wants to see Samus run through blowing up bricks and shooting baddies. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be neat. I don't want to have to go back. Mario was the game that ruined Metroid for me. So that I just don't know that would ever work out, because I played Mario to death and it was, left to right. I mean, I think I've told you the story before. And so then all of a sudden Metroid came out and it was like this, you go left to right. And all of a sudden I'm going left to right and I'm like, well, I can't go any further. There's nothing to do. And like in my kid brain, I could not in a million years be like, you should probably go back left and see now if you've opened something up that maybe you
Yeah,
couldn't do before. But in my kid brain, it was like, no, no, no. Games go left to right. And so it really like that's the reason I stopped playing Metroid 2D. It was just like, no, this is not how this goes. And and so yeah, put those two together, just like my brain kind of explodes just thinking about
yeah. So I can never say his pronounce his right. SAZ, SAZ. Yeah,
it. That's good.
yep. He dropped two questions in there. The first one being, what is the best Xbox controller? The Forza one, Halo Special Edition, or the one like the Series X controller, or a other one. And of course, as you said before recording, there's only one correct answer, and the Game Pass controller. So Nick is now
Yes.
holding up the
Yep.
Game Pass news
Sorry, you can't see it if you're
controller.
listening.
There
But
you go.
yes, the Game Pass controller. I have background blur. Sorry, but yeah, that's the best controller. But
So basically, it is an Xbox Series X, Series S controller, but with the Game Pass news colors. So if you follow us on Twitter, yeah, you'll see the colors. You can copy it, go buy it. We can't endorse it because obviously it belongs to Microsoft, but you know it is ours.
that's right. Yeah, it's ours. Yeah, come on. No,
And then he's
that
the
blue one that just came out, the one like
Aqua Shimmer.
yeah, the
Aqua
aqua
Shimmer.
shimmer one. Dang, I don't know. That one's pretty cool. I mean, if I was a guy that just had endless money, I'd probably buy that one too.
If I was a guy that had this money, I would have an Elite Series too. But because the bits of my Elite Series, the number one, like they're starting to peel off from hours of
uh,
holding onto it and my hands sweating. So
if I was a guy that could, in my brain, handle that many buttons, I'd have an Elite Series as well. But my brain cannot. It cannot like see. I start to stutter when I just think of having 4 buttons back there, 4 paddles that I can just do whatever with. Like I can't even comprehend how to make all that
yeah,
happen in my hands.
I haven't used them since I stopped playing Warzone so much. So
Yeah.
and the other question he's asked is, how would you rank previous mainline editions of Halo, and where would you advise a newcomer to start with the series? And we this is also another one of the reasons why we were a little bit later to start, is we were like looking back and seeing how many mainline editions of Halo there was, and there was more than we thought. There's maybe 7 mainline editions if you want to go for like the big games that kind of carried the story. There was lots of stuff that they spewed out to kind of do with it. So there was like the real-time strategy game, and then there's like different special editions of each one. So like there was a Master Chief edition. There was a like Combat Evolved Anniversary edition and stuff like that. Um, but I think I played Combat Evolved, Halo 2, and then completely fell off the franchise. I think I tried to go back to when ODST was one of them, but it just, yeah, I don't get on very well with first person shooters in a campaign. So I don't like following it through. I kind of only like it for the um, multiplayer aspect, which is why I'm really excited about Halo Infinite.
Yeah, so I actually do like the campaign of Halo, but as my story is with Xbox, I had the initial and I had 360, and I guess I never played. I don't remember ever playing 3. Now, to be honest, I don't remember playing Fable 3 either. But then when I booted it up on Game Pass, I was like, oh shit, I remember playing this game. I beat this game. So I should probably download Halo 3 and see if I have a similar story there. But I think I've only played 1 and 2. And then I dropped off. But it's a great question, SA, and what we have decided to do is to hit up some fellow Halo podcasters, see if we can get somebody on here, because we probably need to pick their games for Halo as much as for us as for our listeners, because we have a large Halo hole, a Halo sized hole in our Halo lore. Just because, yeah, I love the campaigns, but I dropped off of the 1, and man, in that like Halo 3 was 360, and so maybe I played it, maybe I didn't, and I just don't remember it very well, and I've mashed it in with 2. But man, in that one period of time, every year they were pumping out a new Halo title of some type. So there's a lot there that I did not play. So so yeah, maybe Tim can help us. He's naming people off over here with acronyms that I don't know. Um maybe he can help us find somebody and get somebody on that can fill in our Halo sized hole of Halo.
Yep. So that's it for party chat. That's all the questions that we've because we like to kind of keep the short, and we are trailing into the hour and 15
Oh,
mark
we
here. So
are. Gosh. Well, it's been so long
yeah,
since I've seen you, Sean. I just don't want to let you go.
yeah. And we
Um,
do this. We like. I think we kind of when we started Dad Crossing, it was like short because we had Dan, and Dan was like, let's keep it to an hour. He was really good at keeping
he
us
was
like
very good at
in
keeping
check
us
with
on
time.
track.
And then like then Dan went off to do Retro Logic, and and then like our long podcast started turning into 2.5 hours of
Yeah.
us just
The cat
chatting.
was away, man. The mice just went crazy
That
to
was it.
play.
So, so we'll move into the golden ticket, which I'm looking at this list of games that we've got written here, and I'm also looking at the screen on the TV, and I'm like, they're two completely different lists. I didn't update it. It was my turn to do the document, and I forgot. I didn't
Oh,
forget. I
don't blame
started.
yourself for this. No, I actually, yeah, no, I should have been here
So
too. So, um,
dates you probably we won't get the dates to you this time around, but at the moment games with gold that you can claim is Warhammer Chaos Bane. The ukulele is still there at the moment, and Zone of Enders HD is now available to claim. I've
did,
never played Zone of Enders.
did they just totally change what they pushed out in the middle of August that they were gonna do?
Yeah, it
Because
looks like it.
because yeah, that was not. I mean, we've been pushing their press release for the Division, the Blob, since the middle of August, and it doesn't. It sounds like they made a hard right on that. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Huh.
So
There you go. Well, see, it's good to do a check. I didn't even think to check that. I would have just been puking out the same information.
yeah, I thought I'd just quickly look because I was like, oh yeah, if I can get the division, I'm going to claim that right now, even though because I only had it on physical copy.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll have to go back and look into that and see if they came out with a new press release with updated golden ticket items because that was not what came out in August, like, or in the middle of
Yeah.
August. So what's on the horizon? 9/7 coming out here just soon. Crown Trick, which is a roguelike dungeon crawler. Something like it was the people who made Enter the Gungeon. This was kind of like part of the game, one of the games that they based that off of. Um, so there's that. Breath Edge. This is a game I reviewed for the Nintendo Dads on the Switch. It's been out for a while on the Switch, actually. You get stuck in space, and it's you and a chicken, and you got to find your way back home. It's very much like gameplay loopy, where you go out into space with like this crafted suit. You can find what you need to find. You only have so much air and so much time. Then you got to get back home and like craft new stuff with whatever you find. It's 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 you and a chicken. That's right.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
and
say as
it's
soon as you said that, I was thinking, oh, Chick-fil-A.
and it's
Paw
it's
Patrol in my head.
it has some really funny humor. I mean, it's pretty hilarious. There's this guy that chats. It's a decent game. And on Game Pass, it's a great place to play it because I will say, like when I reviewed it, I was sick and tired of it. Like probably 2/3 of the way through, it was just like, okay, you have to do a lot of loops out in space and back to craft everything you need to craft, and without a way of knowing where everything is, it's a lot of just like looking around and finding where's the water and where's the ice and where do I find that aluminum. So that's coming. Origami, Lemnis, and Back for Blood have been on there for a while. They're out 9/17, 9/28. Halo Infinite is a new edition, of course, 12/8. For at least 1/3 of the game. And then we'll be getting
That's for the online only, isn't it?
yeah, online, and I think the single player campaign, I think maybe. And then co-op campaign and the Forge will be coming free in at least no later than 6 months later. They say. So
Yeah.
there you are. That's what's coming.
There's one there on that's what's on the horizon, the paparazzi. I'm still slightly excited to see what that is.
Oh, it's gonna be like another surgeon simulator. Something like
Uh,
that. So you're just gonna be like, oh, this you're gonna
it's just
have it on
taking
your
see.
Xbox for an
That's
hour.
that's one of them that yeah, that's one of those that if it's taking pictures of dogs, if we're going to do a stream of it, I might introduce Emily to playing a game and streaming at the same time. She can be the face of Game Pass's news kids
I
when it's
love it. Game
coming
Pass
to
News
games like that.
Kids. I like it. That's awesome. I'm in on that.
So she can
Um,
she can play that and she'll probably just chat absolute crap, but as she's playing because that's what she does.
and she's a kid, and you know what? Kids will love it. We'll have a whole new we'll have a whole new demographic. Um, the bye bye section. The
Yeah.
one, the big one here. Red Dead Online is leaving September 13th. Sure glad I didn't decide to get into that. Otherwise, I'd have to spend money already, and that'd be a bummer. Uh, because I almost did get into that pretty hard.
Yeah.
So,
It's you see, have they completely fallen out with Rockstar?
that's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like what's happening soon? Because that makes me think Rockstar have got some stuff coming soon.
yeah.
Because
Either they're sick and tired of Game Pass, they're not getting the money they need, or they're getting ready to maybe do some fresh updates of games on there. I mean, it could be a lot of different things, but yeah, there's a lot of Rockstar games leaving Game Pass, so there's a reason for it.
if they
Just
don't if
not
they
sure what
don't
it
want to
is.
bring the new GTA out, at least do a remaster of Bully and stick it on Game Pass, please.
You know me, I'm in on that. I would replay Bully. I mean, I don't replay games often, but it's been so long, and I absolutely loved that game. So yeah, I'd be in on that.
So Company of Heroes 2 is leaving this GF4. The other big one that's leaving is Forza Motorsport 7, but I'm assuming that's because there's going to be a new one coming.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hotshot Racing, The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Uh, it's just trying to, is that tactics? Is
Yeah.
that part of the name? Resistance
I
Tactics,
think
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Resistance Tactics, sure.
Thronebreaker, The Witch's Tale. They're all leaving soon. So if you want to try any of those games, I would jump on and get in there now. Most of them are they're all cloud. So if you can play via your tablet, PC, anything like that, if you want to give them a go before they go now. That's a lot of goes.
I like it. That's like that should be the tagline for the end of that segment. You want to give them a go before they go? Go now. I like it.
Write that down because I will forget.
I'll expect you to remember that next week. All right. What do you? I don't have anything on the dashboard at the moment. I don't know. I gotta think. Oh, the Signs of Sojourner. I'll be doing that at some time here soon,
Yep.
and I'll be getting plays of Craftopia. Never mind. Craftopia and Surgeon Simulator. I'll be getting stuff up on YouTube. I did take footage of both of those that I did today, and I didn't stream them, but I took YouTube footage of it. So I'll be getting that up on our YouTube.
That's gonna be a difficult one to do because it was a bad game.
That's why I didn't stream it.
Yep.
So what do you got on the dashboard?
Quake, which is one of the games that was added last week.
Yeah.
You played the living daylights out of that game when it was on the PC originally, a shareware style at the same time as the original Doom and Doom 2. In fact, I played it that much that I once caused the family PC to crash. And then when it rebooted, the only thing it would do was load straight into Quake.
And you were
I have no
happy.
idea how I managed. Well, I was. My dad wasn't. I had no idea. I had no idea what I'd done, but apparently I'd changed. Well, I was a kid and messing around and trying to put information in because you used to have to run it through MS DOS, and you used to be able to put bits like type things in for different like cheats and stuff like that. I changed the PC start file path to load Quake exe rather than Windows exe. So every time it loaded up, it went straight into like the only thing it ever wanted to do was go straight into Quake. So yeah, I broke the family PC playing that game.
That's awesome.
I've got Psychonauts 2, which literally just finished downloading. So what I might do before people wake up is give that a quick go. because I'm interested to see the quick trailer into previously on Psychonauts. And then in Rays of Light, because I do need to play. Like, I have not wanted to play that game and not be able to stream it or be able to give it like my attention that it needs. So that's the reason why I haven't played it yet. So
All right. Last thing we got on our social right now is our 3 month is our giveaway of 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. You can go to Twitter. There's a link to our Gleam account, and you can enter all the ways possible and get a chance to win 3 months. We do that every 3 months here at Game Pass News. So this is our September giveaway, and yeah, go and see if you can win yourself 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate.
Yep, because with that you can every game that we talk about, we quote, you can play, and Tim's excited.
There you go.
So, but yeah, so that's it. That's all from us today. Remember that you can follow us over on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. Just search for Game Pass News and you'll find us there. A quick word to the Nintendo Dads Discord, because that's where we get most of our questions from. Most of the people that are in our chat on Twitch are people that are also in Discord. So, and they are all awesome. So Tim, SAEZ, Ebucel, Bruce, who normally drops in, Frosticles, who I've mentioned this evening, are all on there, all awesome guys to talk to, all part of our fan base. And the only reason why they're in our fan base is because they were in the Nintendo Dads one. So they followed us across. So yeah, and we're their non-Nintendo show for. So for as little as $1 a month, you can chat with everyone on Discord. You get access to the content they deliver. So head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and subscribe to get your access. And as always, we hope to hear from you soon. So until next time, see you guys later.
See you later, guys.
Recording stopped.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out. You guys have a good night.